Hello y'all on YouTube, this is Rob with Rob's Nerdy Knives. Today I have a very interesting review impressions of a very cool little knife here that I have. This is the Griffin Company Scout F3. I think it's a pretty neat little knife. I was able to get this when they just had their recent drop. It's a kind of a very cool, ergonomic, very, fills your hand for a small knife kind of knife. Well, so let's talk about this. The name of the company is Griffin Company. And the knife itself is called the Scout F3, and this is in the stonewashed titanium scales with the I think yeah, M390 blade steel. Yep, M390 blade steel. For some reason, I was thinking of another knife with another blade steel, but pretty cool little knife right here. The designer, I'm not really sure who the designer is. I'm sure it's the name of the company. I can't exactly remember. Yeah, well, if you know, just comment down below. But pretty cool little knife. I liked it when I first saw it. I know like Left EDC and a bunch of others had it. It's got a nice full blade. Let's talk a little bit about the material. So this is titanium clip, titanium scales, great weight relief inside, really nice contoured everywhere across, so this is done really well. It does have a frame lock with a steel bar insert over travel stop, M390 blade steel, again stone washed all the way across here. A little dirt there, sorry. Got a nice fuller right here that's very functional. It's got enough edge that really does work. Some great jimping on top that works as well. You can sort of choke up. I don't know if I would do that, but you could sort of choke up in a kind of a trigger position. I have large hands, so large widthwise, medium lengthwise. So I have plenty of room, and I think extra large, double extra large, you could use this part here pretty well if you're okay with that. So that works really nicely. Does have a nice swedge on top here, so nice navigating the cut. Does come down to a pretty thin edge, really nice sharp blade. Does have a sharpening choil, which is great. This works pretty nicely. It's not super sharp, so that's tuned really well. And the action is really nice, okay? This does have Skiff washers on there, which I highly recommend if you haven't considered them. And if you do use Skiff washers, use the RNK10 code, RNK10, Roger, Nancy, wow, I just forgot what the K stands for. Oh, my Kappa, Roger, Nancy, Kappa. So, right, RNK, Rob's Nerdy Knives, that's what it comes from. But 10, you use that and you get 10% off when you order Skiff K ceramic ball bearings. Excuse me. Do recommend that. This is a beautiful front flipper, very functional front flipper, by the way. Works really nice like that, and the way it's tuned here, it works really great like that. So it's very functional. It doesn't rip you up or anything like that. Now, if you like a really strong detent, you can tune this to become much stronger, or you can tune it to become lighter. It all depends upon you. To do the reverse, I do know when I'm over here, I have to kind of carry it a little high like this, like that, and it works just fine. Just something to keep in mind. Putting a little pressure on there, it doesn't really work, at least because I got shorter fingers, so it's a little harder for me. If you got longer fingers, maybe it's not a problem for you. But the reverse flick over here works really great as well, so that's nice. You sort of can do the reach around. My fingers are kind of short for that, so if you have longer fingers, it'll probably be super easy for you. It is a captive pivot. Everything is a T8, which was really nice, so that works out really well. Like I said, everything contoured, so the titanium is milled out really great. The opening and closing works really great. The action is fantastic. So, and the Loctite we all talked about. So let's do some measurements here real quick. All right, let's see how much this guy weighs. So it is 4.16 ounces. It's got a little chunkiness to it, so it's not a super light knife, but it's definitely got some weight to it. And let's do some overall measurements on the length of the knife. Excuse me, a little choking there. All right, so overall the knife is around 7 1/4 inches. Yeah, about 7 1/4 inches, maybe 7 3/8. But that's overall length. If you look at from here to the back of the knife, you get about 3.75 inches of actual grip. If you were to choke up just a little bit, you could get up to about 4 inches. All right. Overall tip to the tip of the blade is exactly at 3 inches. The overall cutting length, you are right at 3 inches as well. So 3 and 3. It's really close to any sort of laws in your state and local knife laws. Just keep those in mind. It's right at 3. I wouldn't chance it. Just that's your call, but there you go. So that is the length. Let's do the blade stock thickness, because it is a pretty robust little knife. I think this is going to be like 0.133, maybe something like that. 0.13. Let's see. All right, so 0.136, so 136 thousandths of an inch. So 0.136, 0.137 inches blade stock thickness. It's a little thicker, not super thin, but not super, super robustly thick. So it does definitely give you some nice strength to the knife. Definitely everything fits and works really, really well. All right, so what does this put? Where does this knife put you? Well, the knife is going to be about $300. So you're right at the getting into the high end. The base model I think is $299 or $300. If you get, a black DLC, if you get any of them that have the carbon fiber micarta inlay, they're going to run you over $300, $315, $350. So just keep that in mind. I think this is like at the very, very top in the basic titanium of your regular, really is close to the high end, $300 plus range. So there you go. Purpose of this knife, everyday EDC, absolutely great EDC. The clip works really nice. It does go in and out really well of the pocket. It clips over nicely. Could it be hard use? Yeah, it could be. I mean, it's frame lock. You do have a grip. Everything's nice. Look at that. Even that is nicely chamfered right there. That's a nice touch. Did you see that? That is just an exceptional little thoughtful touch right there, because a lot of times that's super sharp and catches you. And that to me is one of the best. I mean, it stands out because it's done so well. That's just really cool. That's a nice aesthetic. Anyways, I've seen a lot of this where it's kind of rounded, but not like that. That is like almost just perfectly chamfered intentionally right there where it would normally catch you. But yeah, you could do hard use. Now hard use, if you need to chop logs and wood and stuff, get a fixed blade, get an axe. Don't, but if you're in a pickle and you have to survive, I think it could do a lot of good hard work. I think it'd work well. This is definitely a good use. Now, is it a collection piece? Absolutely could be a collection piece. You're in the price range where I think it's a collection piece, but my collection pieces are all carry and use collection pieces, so there you go. If I don't, then I sell them, which this one I might sell because I haven't really been carrying it. So there you go. But it's definitely a collection piece for use, or for just for your collection to have if you like to collect knives just to keep. So there is that. All right, ergonomics and feel, the overall design. I think the design is fantastic. I really do. I like everything about this. It's got a little place for, it's kind of prioritized. It does make it a little bit longer. You do have a lanyard pin, does make it a little bit longer. But in this sense, I understand why they did that, because it really allows for larger hands to get in there, right? So to me, I'm okay with that. I think that is almost intentional. So you're doing that so you can get a better grip on a smaller, more compact knife. I love the chamfering all the way around. That is very, very nice. And even here, you kind of have this little raised for the screw. Typically, people just let the screw stick out. I mean, that's fully recessed all the way here and here. And that's just a nice, small aesthetic you don't really have to go out to do, but they do anyways. And I think that's fantastic, and I think it's wonderful. Action is beautiful. It opens and closes really, really nicely, especially right-handed. If you're lefty, just got to figure out where that little spot is over here. Because I've got shorter fingers, right? I've got to get a little high and get up there, and I'm fine, right? But if I put any pressure on that, it's hard for me to open. But if you got longer fingers, it'll probably be very easy for you. I will tell you, the reverse flick is one of the most enjoyable ways, for me to open it. I do like the front flipping, the front flipper, top flipper, whatever you want to call it, works really nice. And the action here goes down really nice, very buttery smooth, and does drop, especially with the Skiff washers. I would recommend Skiff washers on this. There's no lock stick, no blade rock. It's in there really solid. There's not going to be any pivot lash, because especially I put Skiffs in there. If there was, that would absolutely take care of it, because their tolerances are phenomenal. Let's hear the detent. Nice click detent, gets in there really well. There you go. Nice solid, no detent lash, so that works really well. It's definitely a really nice knife. I think it's something worth enjoying and something worth taking a look at, right? And let's take a look at the back here. Nice stone wash. The action is really great, and it drops here really well, where it comes down here, it catches on my finger, you see that? But it's not going to guillotine, but then it just drops. And here's the detent. You clear the detent about right there. So right there, I'm clear to the detent, which is nice. It's a very early detent, right? So you're not down here or something, but and if it drops here, it goes past that. A lot of times I'll catch, but since I'm dropping and catching right there, I'm perfectly fine. That to me is really, really nice. I do appreciate that. So that is a little bit about the design. I love how it opens. I love how it closes. And it does work left-handed. You just got to keep your thumb up here, get in there. Works really nicely. I do enjoy that. The thumb. Oh, and by the way, yeah, like I was doing over here, you can do this. Oh, let me get in there. Being that it's a little small, you got to watch out getting your finger on there, but you can do the slow roll, right? So there's that. And the clip allows you to really get a good grip over there, so that's nice. All right. Opening, closing, great. So fidget factor, I have that. Can I do the middle finger reverse flick? Let's see. Yeah, I can. Bonus flick, right? Get the middle finger in there. You can definitely do that. Now, can I do that over here? Let's see. I think I can. I just, you know, it's a little challenging, okay? It's a little challenging over there, but you know, the reverse flick here, as long as I get a little high, I'm okay with that. And I can absolutely do the front flip, and I can actually do the finger on the top like that, just a flick. That works really nice. So, fidget factor, because the left is a little more challenging, it's not gonna get the full 7. This is probably gonna be about a 6. It does have the fuller, it does have the front flipper. Those all work really well. As far as right-handed, it's outstanding. Left-handed, it's a little more challenging. And I don't know if it's because the lock bar is just a little too exposed. Maybe if this was over and just had a little, I could not have my finger there. I don't know. I'm not a knife designer. I'm just a guy who enjoys them, gives you my thoughts, and that's it. You know, you know, I'm telling you my experiences for my hands and what I enjoy and what are my aesthetics, and I try to be honest. You know, it's for better, for worse. It may not be what you like, and you may like things I don't like, and that's all right. It's okay. You know, matter of fact, if there's things you know that I like that you will always hate, then use that. And if there's things that you know, maybe that you enjoy, you know, and or things that you know that if I hate, you will enjoy, then use that, right? So there you go. Yeah, dead nut center, beautifully centered. Everything's really great about that. It does come really right to the very tip, very utilized, so that's nice. So fidget factor, as far as what it does, I'm going to give it a 90. It's going to get a nice A-, right? Everything is done really well. You lose 10, you know, 10 on this middle finger reverse flick, where I have to always make sure I'm a little bit high like this, got a good grip, come up there. See, again, I'm doing it because you guys are watching. So see, normally I can just do it. If I think about it and I'm talking, it's you know, it's like chewing gum and talking at the same time, right? But that's where I lose to 10 points, right? So it's not going to be a full 100%, but it's still fantastic. Really, really nice. The action is just sweet. Really, really sweet. And it's got a great size, great compactness. So I think you might enjoy that. All right, so what are my overall thoughts on this knife? Is it recommended? Yeah, absolutely, it's recommended. I think it's a great knife. I think you would enjoy it. I think it's a fun knife. You know, it's something you can definitely buy for your collection. It's definitely going to be a recommended knife. Is it going to be a recommended high-end knife? It's going to be a recommended knife. I'll definitely tell you that. It's a recommended knife because mine was $2.99. That's the category it's in. So this is definitely a recommended knife as far as I'm concerned. And I think you would very much enjoy that for what it is. So there you go. That is my overall thought. Hey, if you have any questions or thoughts about this, any questions for the channel, any questions for me about this review, please let me know in the comments down below. I do try to reply and engage with you guys. I really do appreciate that. Hey, if you found this content fun, interesting, worthwhile, entertaining, or informative, would you please consider hitting the like button down below? And if you've already hit that like button, maybe consider hitting the subscribe button. Subscribing and liking the channel really helps me out, helps the channel grow, allows me to do more things, ultimately more things for you guys. So thank you very much to all of you guys who subscribe and like the videos. And hey, to all the channel members out there, thank you. A big, huge thank you to you guys. You guys are awesome. You really, really help the channel. And if you haven't already, maybe check out the description down below. There's a little link for how to become a channel member. Awesome way to help the channel. I would really appreciate it. If you haven't already, maybe check me out over on Instagram at robs_nerdy_knives. Again, that's on Instagram at robs_nerdy_knives. Thanks so much for watching today. Have a great day and a great week. Bye.